Good morning, students. In this session, we are going to learn about few diseases. First one, it is amoebiasis. It is also known as amoebic dysentery. So, which is a causative agent for this disease? Entamoeba histolytica. It is a protozoa. So, we are getting different diseases by different microbes or organisms. Some may be bacteria, some may be virus, some may be protozoa, some may be helminths, or worms, all this. Okay, so here the causative agent, it is Entamoeba histolytica. It is a protozoa. What are the epidemiology or mode of transmission? Transmission of parasite from fecus of infected person to food or food products through houseflies. So housefly, that is a mechanical carrier. So it is mainly spreading from the fecus of infected person. It is carried by the houseflies. Clear? Second mode of transmission, that is drinking water contaminated by the fecal matter, are the main source of infection. Okay, sometimes the people may drink water from some villages, they may drink water from pond or lake. So the water may be contaminated by the fecus. So drinking such a, if they are drinking such a water, they'll become sick. They'll be getting this amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery, which is a target organ, large intestine. It is the target organ. What are the symptoms? Symptoms include constipation, abdominal pain and cramps, stools with excess mucus and blood clots. Okay, so these are the main symptoms: constipation, abdominal pain and cramps, stools with excess mucus and blood clots. Okay. Then you can see here, this is a contaminated water. First step, contaminated water or food is ingested. So the person is taking this contaminated water or food, anything is taking. We told the target organ, it's a large intestine. First it is coming through it will reach in the stomach. From the stomach, it will go to the large intestine. See, this is the large intestine. So second step, the cyst transforms into the active form of the parasite in the intestines. So once it will reach in the large intestine, it forms a cyst. It can live here, causing only mild symptoms or none at all. So sometimes it will show mild symptoms, sometimes there is no symptom at all. In the third step, in some cases, the parasite burrows through the walls of the intestine. It can then be carried by the bloodstream and can infect other organs such as liver, lungs, brain, etc. So sometimes what will happen, this in this worm, what it will do, it make holes. Okay, it burrows through the walls of the intestine and it will reach in the blood. Through the bloodstream, it will reach in different organs such as liver, lungs, brain, etc. Third one you can see here, this is the liver. Okay, now 3, it is written here, it will reach in the liver or lungs or brain. Fourth, some of the parasites pass out in the fecus and transform back into the cyst to survive the harsh conditions. So once it will come out, again they form the cyst, always to protection from the harsh conditions outside until they find another host. See, so once it will come out, again they living inside the cyst to survive in this harsh conditions and till until they find another host. So this is the cycle of this worm. The next one is ascariasis. Here the causative agent Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides, it is called roundworm. Okay, you would have heard it, a roundworm. It's very common in our intestine, roundworm. It comes under helminths. Okay, helminths means nothing but all the worm parasites which live in the inside the body of other host and takes nourishment and protection from that host, and also they may cause illness or diseases for the host. That is called helminth group. So here the causative agent is Ascaris lumbricoides, that is roundworm. Epidemiology, consumption of contaminated water, vegetables, fruits, etc. Contamination takes place through fecus of infected person which have the egg of parasite. So especially when we eat contaminated water, when we drink contaminated water or vegetables or fruits, etc. This contamination takes place through the fecus of infected person which have the egg of parasite. Which is a target organ? Target organ is intestine. Intestine is the target organ. What are the symptoms? Internal bleeding of intestine. So sometimes the blood it will come out through the fecus. Then muscular pain, fever, anemia, the person will become very pale and blood is hemoglobin is very less because almost all the nutrients eaten by the roundworm. Okay, so person will become anemic in nature, and blockage of the intestinal passage. So what are the symptoms? Internal bleeding of intestine, muscular pain, fever, anemia, blockage of the intestinal passage. So you can see the picture. So these are the contaminated food, you think. So this is that helminth or roundworm. Here you can see. See, the previous session you studied what is the difference between male and female. Ascaris female always it's longer than the male, and also you learned that these are the anterior end, these are the posterior end. In the case of female, posterior end it is straight, but here posterior end it is curved. Okay, so this is Ascaris male, this is Ascaris female. So she's getting abdominal pain or stomach pain. Here you see this is intestine. The intestine it grows, so that is the reason for sometimes there is a blockage of intestine also it will happen because it's living in group. The next disease it is elephantiasis or filariasis. So there are two names, filariasis, it is also known as elephantiasis. Causative organism Wuchereria bancrofti or Wuchereria malayi, filarial worms. They also, this filarial worm also comes under helminths. Okay, so Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malayi, filarial, common name filarial worms. Epidemiology, bite of female mosquito vectors. How the disease will get because of the bite of female mosquito, Culex mosquito. Target organ lymphatic vessels of lower limbs, universal lymph nodes of lower limbs. So it will affect the lymphatic vessels of lower limbs and also genital organs. Symptoms, chronic inflammation of organs, many years, lymphatic vessels which result in appearance of elephant-like leg. So that is the reason it's known as elephantiasis. So there is an inflammation of the leg, chronic inflammation of organ, and the leg it will become very fat. So lymphatic vessels which result in appearance of elephant-like leg. You know how is the leg of the elephant? Appearance of elephant-like leg. So that is the reason this disease it is also known as elephantiasis. Then deformation of genital organ. You can see here, see the leg it looks like elephant leg. So that is the reason it's known as elephantiasis. Then what are the stages here? First, mosquito takes a blood meal, larva enters the skin. Okay, you can see here larva. So there are two hosts. One is mosquito, one is human. To complete the life cycle, it needs two hosts, mosquito and human. So here mosquito takes blood meal and larva enters the skin. Then it came to the human. This is a human stage. The larva will become adult in lymphatics. Then adults produce sheath microfilaria that migrate into lymph and blood channels. So this adult it make one sheath microfilaria that migrate into lymph and blood channels. It will go to the lymph as well as blood channels. Okay, so that once it will reach in the lymph, the person is getting like this leg, okay, so swollen leg, and also it will affect the genital organ. Then again, mosquito takes the blood meal from here with the microfilaria. So again that adult, it will enter into the mosquito. Microfilaria shed sheath, penetrate mosquitoes midgut and migrate to the thoracic muscles. So this microfilaria, it will shed its sheath, then penetrate mosquitoes midgut. There is a foregut, midgut, hindgut. It will go to the midgut and migrate to the thoracic muscles. We also have thoracic cavity and abdominal cavity, the top portion where our heart, lungs, everything is present. That is called a thoracic cavity. Same like it will go to the thoracic muscles of mosquito. Then once it will shed sheath, then what will form? The larvae will form. There is L1 larvae, then again L3 larvae, then migrate to this larva, migrate to head and mosquitoes proboscis. It will migrate to the head region, anterior portion, head and mosquitoes proboscis. Again this mosquito, now the larva is ready there in the front portion. Mosquito takes a blood meal, again it will inject into the, enter into the skin. So it's like a cyclic process. Then ringworm, causative agent Microsporum, Trichophyton, Epidermophyton. they are fungi. These are fungus. So the causative agent for ringworm, it is fungus. Okay, fungi or fungus. Usually we can see the dandruff in the scalp. It is a fungal infection. It's a fungus. It is. So what are the? So we here, which is a causative agent: Microsporum, Trichophyton, and Epidermophyton. These are fungus. Epidemiology is acquired from the soil using towel, clothes, or even comb of infected individuals. Okay, you know, even the dandruff also, it will spread from one person to another when we use the same comb. The infected person used the same comb, if you are using, it will spread. So same like using towel, clothes, or even comb of infected individuals. Heat and moisture enhances the growth of organism. Suppose our head is too much heat or there is a moisture, it enhances the growth of organism. Target organs: skin, nails, folds of skin in groin and toes. So these are the target organs: skin, even the scalp, skin, nails, folds of skin in groin and toes. What are the symptoms? Appearance of dry scaly lesions in skin, nails and scalp. Appearance of dry scaly lesions in skin or nails or scalp. Lesion accompanied with intense itching also. So sometimes when the person get this dandruff, the person is getting too much itching because it's a fungal infection it is. So lesion accompanied with intense itching also. You can see a picture, this in the leg, the skin, this is a microsporum. It's a fungus. If you are seeing through the microscope, this is a structure of microsporum. It is a fungal infection, it's a fungus.